Back on Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery and Locked On Sports Atlanta. Please head over to youtube.com. Put Locked On Sports Atlanta in the browser. Search us, find us, hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment, by the way, too. Make sure, leave us some feedback about what we're doing. Leave us some comments about what we are talking about. I do read through all the comments, so always appreciate all the feedback on there. And then follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. Last night, the Mavericks and Warriors got going on game one of the Western Conference Series. Let's see what the score was here. Let's see. 112 to 87. That feels like it's a 25-point loss. Now, for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, gosh, I'm old enough to remember just, I don't know, a few days, a week ago, when I was told things like, Luka and Dallas won this trade with Trae Young. Luka's going to carry this team to the NBA championship, this, that, and the other. Now, maybe I'll be wrong about all of this. Maybe we'll look back in a couple of weeks and say, oh, Chuckery, you were wrong. You didn't get it right. But what did you see last night? You saw last night their star player, Luka, with a good defensive team. I don't know. Let's see. Draymond Green is, top 3 defensive players in the entirety of the NBA, multi-time defensive player of the year. And you saw that group of guys go out there and shut him down. Luka last night in that game was 6 for 18 from the field, 3 for 10, 20 points. He was, ready for this, because this was the highest number of anybody on the team. He was a minus 30 in 35 minutes played. Let me repeat that. Minus 30 in 35 minutes played. And by the way, he got next to no help. Dinwiddie, who was so good the other night, 5 for 11, 3 for 7 from 3. He had 17 points and a minus 21. Brunson, 14 points and 6 for 16 from the field. Now, understand, and this goes back to what I said the other day on this show, that there's no doubt Luka is a great player. He is a star. No doubt about it. But this idea that Luka is so far ahead of Trae, Luka and the Mavericks showed you last night. If Luka plays bad, they're not going to win. If he doesn't get his supporting cast to help him out, they're not going to win. Who does that sound like? Let's see. Let's roll down the Rolodex of teams in the Eastern Conference who have a star player. Let's just use an example. Let's say Trae Young. And let's look at his roster. Let's think. Okay, Trae Young doesn't play well. They probably don't win. If Trae Young's supporting cast doesn't play, they don't win. It's exactly the same. Yeah, Luka plays outstanding and his guys around him play great. They'll win and they can beat anybody in the NBA. They can go on the road and beat the Phoenix Suns. Just like on Martin Luther King Day when the Suns came to Atlanta. And on that Monday, Trae Young was outstanding. The Hawks supporting cast was outstanding. And what'd they do? They beat the Phoenix Suns. So it's the same thing. If you're in this league, if your star plays like a star and his supporting cast helps him out, these teams are set up to beat anybody in the NBA. The Hawks are no different. The Mavs are no different. None of that is different. And that's not taken away from what Luka is. That's not taken away from what Trae Young is. That's why this thing is not so cut and dry. When just a few days ago, everybody's like, oh, well, this is just, it's over. The Dallas won the trade and all that stuff. Did they? They're in the exact same position right now that the Hawks were in last year. And they're down 0-1 in their series. I think the Warriors are going to win this thing in 6. I think I said on this podcast yesterday, Celtics in 7 and Warriors in 6. So I wasn't surprised by what happened last night. Oh, fatigue and this, that. Get out of here with all that nonsense. Okay? Because the same thing happened to the Hawks against Miami Heat. They were up in Cleveland in less than 48 hours. In 36 hours, they went from being up in Cleveland and having to win a game to coming down to Miami and playing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't want to hear about all of that stuff. But this idea that, this team won it, it's a clear-cut thing. I had a guy on from CBS Radio that was on my show, I guess the other night it was, saying that, oh, yeah, it's obvious now Dallas won the trade and Luka's rounding into that Michael Jordan type form. I was like, whoa, hang on. Thinking to myself, whoa, wait a second. Michael, has Luka won a title? Has he led a team to an NBA championship? I mean, pump the brakes a little bit. I love Luka. I love Trae. But this idea that everything is just etched in granite and it's set in stone and we can't change it now is crazy talk. Let this thing play out a little bit. Like I said, yeah, there are things that Luka does better than Trae Young. But the net result, which is at the end of the day, does anything matter but the net result? The Hawks are a better organization because they have Trae Young. The Mavericks are a better organization because they have Luka Doncic. They're not the exact same player, and they don't do the exact same things, and the supporting casts are different, and blah, 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 blah. But no star by himself. You saw, we talked about this. Giannis didn't do it by himself this year. When you've got Middleton, and, they brought Holiday in last year, who was an incredible difference on their team, both on the offensive and defensive side. He's a great defensive player. And Middleton's, a legit number 2 guy in this league. When they've got it all cooking and rocking and rolling and beep, bada boop, yeah, you win the NBA title. But when Luka goes 6 for 18, is a minus 30 on the court, all this talk about, well, he's a better defense player. Is he? Where based on what? What's all the metrics? I can tell you who the best defensive players on the court were last night. None of them were wearing white jerseys. They were all wearing those black jerseys playing at home. That was Draymond and Poole and Steph and all those guys that looked like they were all the best defensive players out there. Didn't look like anybody for the Dallas Mavericks because the Warriors last night, I know at one point they were almost at 60%. They shot 56% from the field last night. 56% from the field. You think you're going to beat Golden State on most nights when they shoot almost 60% from the field? So, again, everybody, slow down, calm down. Let's let it play out. Luka, Trae are only a few years into their career, and their franchises are basically both at the exact same spot right now. Trae was here last year. Luka's here this year. When Trae plays well, they usually win. When Luka plays well, they usually win. When the supporting cast is the dregs of the universe for Trae Young, they don't win. When the supporting cast is the dregs of the universe for Luka Doncic, they don't win. And last night was a good old-fashioned butt whooping. That was the Golden State Warriors reminding everybody that, hey, hand raised, we did win a couple few NBA championships over here. And we did win one when there was no guy named Kevin Durant here. We still have Steph and Clay and Draymond, and now we've got Poole and Wiggins and all these guys and everything like that. We're still, raised hand, we're still a really good franchise over here. Don't forget about us. And guess what? When their stars play like stars like they did last night, you look last night at Golden State in what they did. Draymond only had 10 points and 9 boards and 3 assists and was plus 25. Why do you suppose that is? Steph last night, 21, 19 for Wiggins. Every starter was in double figures last night. Porter gave him 10 off the bench. Poole gave him 19 off the bench and was a plus 15. When your stars play like stars and your supporting cast helps you out, you're going to win in the NBA. And last night was a prime example of the Dallas Mavericks that you ran into a buzzsaw. And it's hard to just put those kinds of same nights up night in, night out. Even Luka needs help if he's going to win a title. All right, thank you so much for making Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery your first listen every day. Reminding you, make my guy Mark Zinno and A to Z with Mark Zinno your second listen every day. He's back and he's talking all things Atlanta sports, and he's got the opinions that you may not like at times, but you got to hear. So A to Z with Mark Zinno, it is free and available on YouTube, just like this show and every other one, as part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, and also free on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Check it out today. Also, follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. Subscribe to the YouTube page at put Locked On Sportsland in the YouTube browser when you get there and hit the subscribe button and be a part of the community. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to have Maria Martin on from 11 Alive. We'll just kind of bounce around all things Atlanta. Lots to get into. This has been Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.